coming off a Tata Steel and then watching Rapids, you realize the difference between classical chess and Rapid. You just realize the difference because classical chess, there's fine points, more accuracy, deep games. Rapid is just like, boom, boom. Oh, he blundered. I was losing. Oh, I'm winning. Oh, I'm losing again. Damn. You don't know what could happen in these games. Guys just blunder out of nowhere, okay? Just absolutely out of nowhere. Michiko, what's up? What's up? In the building as well. And I see a bunch of y'all I know about. Atlas, thank you very much for the Hennessy sponsorship. The Hennessy sponsorship. Brought to you by Hennessy. This is just water, but this stream is brought to you by, well, they ain't paid for nothing for this stream, but they're my crew. They're my crew. That's what's up. So, the Opera tournament. Well, we've got Magnus at the top. Magnus got out the gate. And by the way, what I've got for you for this stream is going to be head snapping. We could almost call the title of this stream the head snaps. Look, I pluralized that. What just happened? Okay, we're going to show some head snapping moments. Yipper, you have seen, indeed, you have foreseen one of the games we're going to go over on the stream. Indeed. And so head snaps. And Chunky Lardo, you saw the NPR, you heard the NPR story. I'm glad you did. If you guys who haven't heard about it, check it out. I was on NPR. It's a story I did a while back. And indeed, that is something they replayed. And it was definitely a lot of fun for me to do that. So, a lot of fun also, the chess video with the Hustlers in the Park. Now, the head snaps. Head snap number one about this event. The first, was Magnus getting hit in the first round by Wesley So. Just right away, out the gate. Boom! Like Magnus is going, Magnus, the best player on the planet, not doing anything in tournaments. I mean, he couldn't win against Wesley in the, back at a couple of months ago. And then Dubov takes him and goes, boom, you're out in the quarterfinals. And then in the Tata Steel, falls apart, doesn't even place in the top 5, his worst result in years, bleeds rating points. So here he is back again. Magnus having something to prove. And in round one, Wesley says, come here, take a hit. And definitely was a head snapper. Because Wesley, I didn't pull up the game for the stream, but let me pull up this game because it is worth showing the moment I thought was really sort of the most exciting moment from this game. The most gangster moment from this game, without any question at all. Here we go. Let me get it. Let me bring it up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Here we go. And all right, let me just put it on. All right, so here it is. This is the ending position. Now there's the ending position, but I want to go back to this moment right here. This moment right here. Now, Whitey's up a pawn. But it's not an easy pawn to convert, as you see that this rook is very passive. We see the rook converging, the queen converging, keeping things under some measure of control. But White should be able to hang here. White's got the extra pawn on the queen side, should be able to divert Black's pieces and then harass this king. But this rook looks like it's tied down for a minute. Wesley played a sneaky move here. King back to h1. Now, this move looks passive. This move looks like, what could that possibly be doing except pure passivity? And the Indians don't think it's a great move. They're like, whatever. That's not a great move. Indians give moves like rook to d2 here, king to f7. Just chill. You should be okay with a move like king h2. But Magnus, of course, I'm sure there was a clock ticking issue. Just playing king to g7, needed to make a move in the position and just made a move because he figured you got nothing to do. And this was your head snap moment of this game, folks. The move G4. Gangster 4 on the board. An incredible move, given that you just expose your king along the diagonal. Looks like you're exposed along the rank, potentially exposed along the file. G4, I get the fact that this king and queen are on the same line, but aren't you worried about your own king? This kind of exposure? G4 in a critical moment like this against the world champion. But suddenly the threat of taking is winning and the king is sitting there. So he moved with king f7 and then takes anywhere. There are no angles. This pawn is the worst pawn ever. Your own pawns block you. That's the thing about chess. Your own pawns block you. You want to get them out of the way from time to time. And this move, G4, exploits the fact that this pawn is stopping the angle towards the king. If only this pawn were already on E3, black would be like doing work. But no can do, took. And now with a king exposed on the back rank, you would think Wesley up a pawn might play a reasonable move, a queen G5 action, say, I'm up a pawn, let's just chill. But no, you can't do that because the pawn on H3 is hanging, it'll be mate. So that's not a move. What to do here? Why would you play G4 and expose yourself? So you can play Rook G5 and expose yourself even more. Wesley, seriously, your king is sitting back here by its lonesome, but he understood that it's actually the queen that needs to be chased away so that he could pick off this pawn and dominate this king quickly. This game is just about over. The queen has nowhere to go that doesn't hold the H7 square. So Rook G5, a monster shot, death blow. Rook check was played, king to G2, rook to C2 check, king F1, rook C1 check, king E2, rook to C2 check. And now, delicate moment in time, You've got to watch it. King D1 is what just about everybody would play at this moment, King D1. And it's definitely a good move here, don't get me wrong. But the guy might play queen to D7 with check, and after you take, drop a check on you, and now you've got to do the boogie. The D boogie. You got to go the other way now. You got to go all the way back over so you can get your other pieces to come help you out. That's too long. That's too long. Wesley in this position understood. King straight back to E1. The geometrics. We talk about geometrics on the show. King back to E1 was the boss move, and Magnus resigned because if he kept up this party like this and now try the check, king takes, and there's no queen D3 check. And if you sidestep trying to get something, then he just sidesteps, and then you have zero attack, zero angles, this darn pawn. If it only were out the way, we could give a check and maybe hope against all hope, but no hope for you. King to E1 by Wesley won him the game, and Magnus resigned. So we had our head snapper of a moment right out the gate. You got to like things like that when they happen, you know, the quick head snaps. Head snap moment number 2. Magnus Carlsen loses this game in embarrassing style and goes on to win 4 in a row. 4 in a row. Just, you know what? Dust myself off. I'm the world champion. Bing, 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 bing. Hit him hard. Like, what? Say what? Like, really? I mean, when you're a champ like that, that's the very definition of a champ. Like, you get hit. Oh, he's hurt, Magnus. Maybe he's over the hill. You know, he's 30 already. He's done now. He's got nothing. Come here. Let me show y'all what over the hill looks like. Bing! Hit him hard. Boom! Magnus with the hits. I mean, it was just ridiculous what he did. That was just another head snapper of a moment. And the third head snapper involved Magnus again, okay? Magnus again. And I see some questions you're throwing at me, guys. We're going to get to your questions a little bit later, but I just want to do my little report of the news as it happened in this tournament. The next head snapping moment came when Magnus played against what would be the big news of the event, played against Hikaru Nakamura. And this was a moment that will go down, a memorable moment. Hikaru had what is a fine position. He's got the black pieces here. He's got the great knight. He's got the bishop on the diagonal. He's got the rooks, double barrel coordination along the E line. His queen is just fine. Magnus has a rook on A2. What is the rook doing on A2? What is the rook doing on A2? That's a joke piece. What's the rook doing on A2? I mean, come on. That's just garbage, that rook on A2, right? The rook is defending on F1. What's a rook doing on F1 defending? This bishop, okay, it's a decent piece. The queen on the back rank. Black must be good. Black must be great, right? Not that great. He played the move rook to e1, and now it's like, yeah, tactics, tactics. Look at this. You can't touch my rook because of queen f2. Take it, please, so I can play queen takes f2 with check and get my little attack moving, get my groove on. Turns out the king could probably even hide here and still survive. But rook to e1, Nakamura was hoping that this would be okay, this would be good, until Magnus said, boom, wake up, smell the coffee, what a shot. What you'd be like, what's the what's the point of this move? Why isn't this, like, what are you doing? What he's doing, he's just saying, my rook's doing work, jerk. My rook's guarding that pawn. All of a sudden, that rook I was decrying is suddenly a beast. But not only that, your queen is being deflected, so that rook takes on e1 can be played. And if you take here, we're going to take here first with check, 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 please, check. Wait, waiter, check. King takes, and give me that. And now everybody is doing work, and this game is over. What a shot Magnus dropped on him. Hikaru just blundered this bishop takes on g6, and that was indeed another head-snapping moment from this tournament. A lot of games played. Obviously, it was 16 players in the tournament, 15 rounds, 5 rounds a day, 3 days of chess. I couldn't recap it all, but for the head snapper, the final head snapper, the big news is that one of the favorites to win any rapid tournaments he plays in, Hikaru Nakamura, is knocked out of the tournament. Not only is he knocked out of the tournament, he's knocked out by one of his countrymen. It's like, I mean, I thought we was buddies, man. I thought we was buddies. You ain't doing that well, you know. I mean, I draw you, and then I'm in. I draw, and I'm in. And Sam Shanklin was like, well, if that's what you wanted, you should have offered the draw because you didn't look like you were trying to draw. Okay? I mean, Shanklin said, we're going to know, is Wesley So qualified? For sure, Wesley So is qualified. Ain't no doubt about it. But not poor Naka, just feel bad. You got to feel bad for him the way he went down. Fox FX streamer, what endgame are you talking about that we should analyze? The one where this one I have in front of me, because you know this here is nasty. I mean, this here is just bustito. But I mean, just bustito, no question about it. And Naka, let me get to that game. Let me see if I can find the game. Hold on, which game am I looking for here? This is it. Well, I'm looking. Where am I going to find it? Oh, it's in front of me. It's one of those things you got your glasses on. And where are my glasses, honey? Where are my glasses? All right, here we go. We're going to go over this game. We're going to go over it from Black's point of view, since Black ended up winning the game. We're going to go over it from Black's point of view. But it's going to be ugly in the beginning because Nakamura just needs a draw. He just needs a draw in this game in order to qualify for the next stage. And look at this position that happens. We come out of a rouser. This was known as a Richter-Rouser variation of the Sicilian. And pieces are just developed. I'm going quickly because we're getting out of the opening stage. We see opposite side castling. We see this move h4 that's going to try to soften up the king side castle position if that king ever goes over there, which of course you know it will. And in the meantime, Black is trying to get his own counterplay on this side. So White just has to be a little careful here. White plays the move king to b1, b4, drops the knight back. And now the move a5 to guard the pawn on b4. And now Naka plays a bodacious move. The move c4. c4. Let's get busy right away. Let's get the party started quickly. Now, this pawn looks like it's hanging, but there are tacticos in the wind. Wait a minute. What? We're eating tacticos today. The Super Bowl might be over, but it's tacticos time. Why? Because you can't touch this pawn, the MC Hammer variation. Don't touch this because I take and you're hanging that bishop. So that was the point behind c4, trying to deflect the queen away from the b hop. All right, that was the main point there. So in this position, he was able to make this move c4 and really try to keep black's attack at bay, also to guard this d5 square. So that was critical. So Sam took on c3, and now the knight comes back to c3. Now black does have this open file, so he took advantage of that. And now the next move, you've got to have a lot of courage to play the next move. A lot of courage and a lot of understanding to play the next move. This is why you could say, when a person is off form, like Naka was in this tournament, it doesn't mean all their moves are bad. It just means they can't put it all together. So in this position, the move a4 is just beautiful. I mean, how many of us would touch the pawn on our king side, make this pawn backward? This pawn cannot push 2 squares. It can't push 1 square. All right? I mean, it just can't. And yet, it's a great move. Why is it a great move? Because the b5 square is weak. It has been weakened by this a5 push and by this b5 pawn no longer being around. So h6, bishop back to h3. By the way, this h6 move is always delicate in the rouser because the g pawn can go down the board and use it as a hook in the position. So castles, knight to b5, and now a knight's going to live on this square. Nothing to do. Queen moves, bishop to d3, give me the c line, and white is just shutting the position down. d5 trying to open the position. Not today, not today. Bishop b4, a little tempo on the queen. We can wait. And now the knight's on a terrible square on e8. Just miserable. Where's he going? Maybe he could challenge this knight in hopes one day, someday, any day now. Not today, though. Bishop to a7 takes, rook to c8, more trades, the merrier, and now h5. And this king is starting to feel a little bit of angst because this diagonal is going to be a working diagonal. So the king moved. Here comes the pawns. Do-do-do-do. Here comes the pawns. And I say, it ain't going to be all right. All right, queen c6. Bishop to b6. Bishop to c8. And now knight a7. Now this is a monster. This is a nice little move here, forking pieces. Although this bishop is terrible, nevertheless, here we go. Queen takes on a4. Now, you know, he thinks he's going to be doing well here, grabbing a pawn. Might as well, because what? He's got a little perpet action he's looking for if you take the bishops. If you take here, black can play queen d1. Forget the perpet. Might as well just steal the bishop. And black is doing very well here. So that's not something that Naka wanted to see. But Naka understood he had an advantage, so he just played queen e2. He might have blundered the pawn, but now here he comes. Queen c2, hitting the bishop. Bishop b7, bishop b5. Look at these dominant pieces, just rolling now. Rolling it up. Queen to a7. Now, this should be over. This should be over, over, over. But this is chess. Let's be clear. We play chess. The game we play is chess. And in chess, it's never over till you won the game. So you have to have an attitude of an assassin when you play chess. You have to have that attitude. Have you ever seen any of the Bourne movies? It's like that. The guys who were from the Bourne movies, the Treadstone, what's the Treadstone Project? Treadstone, Matt Damon, Treadstone. Those Treadstone dudes were dudes that they just kept coming. They could be dead they're dead, right? No, they're not dead. They're coming. They're just coming and coming and coming. That is exactly the attitude that these folks have. And this is how you have to be as a chess player. Because it looks like white is just serving black in this position, and white is. But it doesn't mean because you are winning that you're going to win. Could we be clear? You can't say, I was winning, Those are the funniest words in chess. I was winning. That's nice. That's great. That's great. You were winning. All of us say that. I was winning. I was winning. Winning don't mean nothing. Winning means jack in chess. I don't care if you were winning. It doesn't matter what position you have. Can you really get it done? When it's time, do you get it done? And in this position, the move f6 was played. Now here, he can play almost any move. He could play f4, keep the position on lockdown. Block. This knight sucks. I mean, the knight sucks. It's about to die. It just sucks. He could drop his bishop back to d3 and put it on g6. Did I mention this knight sucks? White's piece is just waiting to jump into the game. This bishop is going nowhere, but this bishop might show up. I mean, sucks. What does he do? He throws in a check. Okay. All right. Okay. King to f7. Okay. You still okay, though. You can still play f4. Maybe keep your edge. What did he do? Bishop to d3. I'm threatening mate, ma. I'm threatening mate. Look at that. I'm threatening mate. And if he takes my pawn, check, I win a piece. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm partying. Until the move lands on the board. And we've talked about this on this stream. What are the hardest moves in chess to see? We know the types of moves that are the hardest to see. One of them is the retreat. Retreat. I could write a book. Sorry. I could do a DVD on the moves that grandmasters miss. I could literally do a Wait a minute. I did do a DVD. I did do a DVD. I did a couple of DVDs on the types of moves that grandmasters miss, called What Grandmasters Don't See. And one of them are retreating moves. Retreating moves are some of the hardest moves in chess to see. And you might look at it and say, what's the big deal? Why did he miss that move? Yep, retreating moves. They're hard to see. We go forward. Humans are believers in going forward. You understand? Forward. Thank you, Steve. But the backward moves, now, your point beat my ace. Here's the deal. You said Sam didn't miss the move. Levon Aronian said something to me a while back. Let me get a sip before I say it. Levon Aronian, in an interview with me, he said a while back, he said, listen, what grandmasters hate is to have 5 different moves in front of them, even if they're good moves. You're looking at the board, he's like, I could do this, I could do this, I could do that, maybe I could do that. Maybe. And you start realizing, you feel like one of them's the best, and you have to choose between the 5. That's difficult. That's difficult for top elite players. But what he said right after that was, and here's the wisdom, if you give us a position where there's only one move, where we've got nothing else to do, we're going to find that move. Like everything loses, check, loses. Wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. And that's with Sam with his back to the wall and Naka attacking. I'm ready to win. I'm going to qualify and make it. Queen f8, the retreating move, lands on the board. And that is it. That is it. Shuts down the attack, guards the knight. The queen is misplaced. The problem is the queen and the bishop are both fighting for the same square. Both of them on the square is not going to make any sense. It's not going to do you any good. So he goes instantly from I'm winning the game to, wait a minute, if I play check now, he moves. Queen back does nothing because your queen's trapped. Trading queens, yeah, probably the best thing to do. But not winning anymore. Where's the attack? What happened? What happened? Big attack, gone, fizzled up. Bye, air. See you, Mr. Attack. We used to be friends. Not anymore. Okay? So queen to f8, a beautiful little defensive move that Naka missed. And he played queen a7 trying to get his piece out. And what happens is when a strong player misses a move, it rattles them. Because now you're looking at the board going, wait, I was supposed to hurt this guy, and now it's not there anymore. And now you have to somehow keep your equanimity. Keep your cool and play the game. All right? Now you have to play. Thank you, Shock. But it's the hardest thing to do. It's the hardest thing when the game head snapper. What did I say about head snapping moments? When you go, wait a minute. Wait, I was winning. Maybe I'm still winning. That's what you hope. Maybe I'm still winning. Like in this position, instead of Naka saying, screw that, I'm just going to take the draw, bishop g6, play this position, I'm just going to chill, okay? I mean, the fact is he's a pawn down. So it's not like it's just a draw. That's something he didn't want to see happen. But it was better to play that position than the position he played. Instead, he played queen to h7, and Sam said, lunch. Thanks for the pawn. This attack is nothing. My king's running. My king's away. This is garbage. Your pieces aren't doing anything in this position now. So now Naka tried the okie doke, bishop to d8, trying to stop the king from running, threatening a really beautiful checkmate, by the way. Man, that's picturesque. That's attractive. That's attractive. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not today. It's not. Shut it down quickly. Okay, get my pawn back. Queen to d6, a beastie move, hitting the bishop. This check does nothing because the king's going to move. What are you going to do now? And there's going to be no mate, so your bishop is actually hanging in this position. So you try to keep the diagonal, and then whoops, whoops, oops, oops, problems. Suddenly there are problems. Who's attacking who? This is not what happened in the game because Naka didn't take. But who's attacking who? The attack is dead. The attack is dead. And this knight looks silly. Silly Manili. This would just shut it down. D takes e4. From offense to defense, defense to offense, all of a sudden, this game is all black, baby. From this moment on, bishop backed up to c2. When you got to back up like that, you know you got to cry. And then Sam said, let me go after this piece. What he doing? What he doing? He looking trapped. He looking mighty trapped. Throw some wood. Throw something at him. Throw anything you can. Some patties. Give me that. That's got to go. Give me that. What you got? You got an attack? You think you have an attack? Check. I'm backing up. H6. Wait a second. Check him. More attacking ideas. What? Queen to f2. You're trying to queen your pawn? What if I mate you first? Had to back up. Let me in the kitchen some more. What if I mate you first? Go ahead. Do what you got to do over on this side. You're backing up? Okay. Now I kill your pawn. And when you check me, I chill. Because guess what? My bishop can just drop back. Or my knight can do the work. Queen g5, knight g7, queen d8, queen f8, and he covers up. This is just like whoop, 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 whoop. The attack's dead. White's hopeless. White's down a piece. Extra knight, extra pawns. He could have resigned here. Couldn't believe it now. Now you're drunk. Then you're like, what am I supposed to do? Oh, no. Oh, I got a pawn back. But somehow his pieces are swarming. Come get some. And here Naka took this, but then it was over. Bishop takes on b3. It's just toast. Black has two pawns and an extra bishop. White has nothing to even play for here. And so he resigned. Game over. 50 great moves negated by one bad move. That is the game we play. You can play a game like football, talking about the Super Bowl. You throw an interception. Do an interception. It's all good. You fumble the ball. Fumble the ball. We'll get it back next time. In chess, you throw an interception. This is what happens to you. Here it is right here. Right here. Right here. Great position. One, I've been playing. 35 good moves. And on move 36, Bishop D3, and that's it. Game turns. Game turns. And that's it. That is the game we play, people. That is the game we play. Chess is cruel. Chess has head-snapping moments, and this is what happened right here to Hikaru Nakamura, one of the tournament favorites. We want to see Hikaru get there. We want to see Hikaru, a potential Magnus in a matchup. That's legendary stuff. No question about it. Hikaru is one of the best of the best of the best. But this tournament, he was not. And instead of doing the right move order, yes, Bishop D3 would have been better than Queen H8. That is Steelman. Yes. Wrong move order. Hey, Sam, you can't blame Sam. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? It's not his fault. Chipotle Sensei, do I remember the first game Rook B1 was shown in? I can find it. I can sure as heck find it for you. Why don't you DM me, Chipotle? DM me and I'll look it up. DM me and I will look it up. I'll, whisper me or whatever it is that you do. And then I'll look. Pogosians, probably Papa Jokester. I think you're right. I think you're right. But I can easily find it. I will easily find it. But Papa Jokester is dropping the stuff. But yeah, no problem. Yeah, just send me a message and I'll make sure it happens. So Hikaru is out. We got people in like Aronian. Ooh, Aronian versus Ding Loren. Ooh, that was gangster. That was gangster. That was gangster. Absolute. Ding Loren's tournament. Head snapping moment, yo. Ding Loren losing how many games in this tournament? What the hell? Ding Loren? I mean, let me go do a little research. I hate doing research like this, but sometimes you got to do it. Ding Loren in this tournament. Let's see. First of all, Ding Loren lost to Grishchuk. He lost, actually, he won a few games with White. What I want to see is the games he lost with Black, however, because he lost 1, 2, 3, no, got it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. No, I must be wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games with Black. I mean, I understand he's playing late at night. I understand. Yeah, I mean, I've had jet lag, bad jet lag in my chess career. I get it, y'all. I get it. But, damn, he played 8 games with Black and lost 7 of them. Like, 7 games with the Black pieces? I mean, you just see Black in front of you like, listen, I'm going to resign now. Like, how do you lose 7 games? Talk about a head-snapping moment. 7 games with Black? I mean, sorry. Like, and you say he's doing work with White. Yeah, he did okay with White. Okay? Lever number. He did okay. I ain't gonna front. It's Ding Loren after all. But with White, his results, he lost the game with White. If you're gonna lose 7 with Black, just win 7 with White, please. But what he did with White is he won 3 out of the 7 games he played and lost 1. 3-1 is not going to compensate for 0-7. Not even close. Ding Loren, I mean, that was brutal. That's another head snapper from this event for sure. For sure, y'all. For sure. Yo, that was serious. That was real. That was real. I'm sorry. That was real. And, of course, Hikaru didn't make it in this event because he and Dubov had the exact same score, but Dubov was better on tiebreaks because he won 1 more game. At the same score, but the winner of more games gets the tiebreak, and he won 1 more game, so Hikaru got bumped. Thank you, Shaq. Bumped. That's messed up. The word is that's messed up. That's messed up, y'all. That's all I got to say. It's messed up. Yeah. So, we got the 8 players. We're moving on. Should be exciting. Should be some good matchups. I like what Geary did. Geary has shown himself, shrug off Tata Steel. Yeah, he lost in the tiebreak. Yeah, he could have won but didn't. Now it's time to show what you got and show that you're still a gangster. And Geary proved that he was a gangster to get to where he got to. No question about it. He's getting it done. Now, Zabayan, Dubov versus Duda. I did not see that game. Was that savage? Was that completely insane? Because I got to admit, I've been busy, and I did not see Dubov versus Duda. So let's just pull that up because you guys are saying it was a good game. So let's go. Let's see if I can find it. Dubov, Duda. Was it Duda, Dubov, or Duda versus Dubov? Here we go. Let's take a look. Let me pull the game up. Duda versus Dubov was good. Let's look at that game. All right, well, let's do it. You guys are asking for it. I'll listen. I listen to my stream. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me just get my stuff together, though. Here we go. Come on. We're going to just pull this up and take a look. Oh, the 4 Queens game. You know I love me 4 Queens. I love me four queens. I did see the finish. But yes. So let's take a look at this crazy game. All right, four queens. We always love to see four queens on the board. So we got a little semi-Slav action going on here, and now we're into Moran territory, and now knight g5, and boom, and woo! Sizzle from the start. We love a good sizzle from the start. Now, usually that's Dubov hitting like this. Dubov is the one who usually drops the sacrifices first. But here comes Duda. You know I listen to the people, Cavs. That's what's up. You know that's the case. But this is nice. This is nice. Okay. We see sacrifices and more sacrifices. This is what we want to see. You don't see double. Two pieces get sacrificed right from Jump Street right away. But, of course, this move is coming. So what we have is what we like to talk about, a material imbalance of one rook for three minor pieces, but in the meantime, white has 3 pawns. So white has 7 pawns, count them, 7 pawns on the board. Black has 3 minor pieces, so white has a rook and 3 pawns. Usually, the minors will cook the rook, and I mean cook the rook, all right? No question about it. But these minors, other than this one, the bishop on b7, the other two, they're not showing their teeth yet. Not yet. In the meantime, this king is exposed, and it looks like an easy perpet if white wants it. So white played this. Black went in the corner. Whoa, how did I manage to jump that far ahead? Okay. King back to g8. And now, give me another pawn. Do I smell some passed pawns? Do I smell some passed pawns in the building? Because now, before white took this pawn, white had 2 passed pawns only. Right? Only. When white takes on e6, white suddenly has 4 passed pawns. Count them, 4. And this one is about to be a 5th. Woohoo! Party all the time. We talk about the pawns on this stream a lot. Thank you guys for making me look at this game, because we're seeing some of the themes that we've talked about on this stream. Was the sack sound? The sack was 100% sound. Why? Because white could have drawn at any time. The king was so exposed that white could have drawn at any time. And that is the deal. All right. Let me just check little messages there. That is the deal. White could have drawn at any time. So, king to g7. And now, Michiko, thank you so much for the tier 1 gift. Much appreciated. Now white has got 4 passed pawns and an exposed king, and could chill. White could check if white wanted to. Just keep checking or something and look for the f4 move. But instead, rook to d1 was played, which I can't blame him for. Because if you play d5, you are established officially a 5th passed pawn. And this pawn is actually passed. It's kind of a funny definition, because a passed pawn is really a pawn with no pawns on the same file. So therefore, this pawn must be passed by definition. But it doesn't quite look passed yet because of its capture, and the square is guarded a little bit. But no, it's really more about this capture that makes you look at it. So this is really already a 5th passer. That's already a 5th pass pawn. By technical definition, that's a 5th passer. So white has 5 connected passed pawns. But you don't want to move these joeys, because pieces are hungry and they want to attack you. So knight to f8, queen check. And now, I was going to say, I hope he played d5, because d5 looks like it makes the most sense. And these are the ones you really want to push. So we got our 2 connected passers. You've seen this on the stream before. If you follow the stream, you know this is good stuff. And Zobayan, you're telling me you're like spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. What's good? What's good? Let's see it happen. d6. Pawns are marching. Bishop h4. Really? e6. Well, we've talked about this on the stream before. Passed pawns on the 6th are usually worth a whole rook. So I can imagine this pawn landing on this square. But we've also seen 2 passed pawns go nowhere. We've seen a lot of examples on this stream where two passed pawns don't go anywhere. And in this position, this last move allowed queen to f6. Black's position is starting to breathe a little bit, just a little bit. There's still some discoordination in the camp. But wait a minute, there's going to be threats. There are some threats to worry about. So e7 gets played. Don't put your rook on g8 because bing, 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 bing. Hello, you lose a whole piece. So that stopped the rook g8 tactic. But bishop to c6, guarding. And now the pawns look stuck. Is there a d7 sighting possible? I don't know. Instead, he played the move g3, and that gave Black a tempo to play rook to g8. I don't know. There's a queen f3 sighting somewhere that could happen. If that queen leaves, you will get mated. I told you that bishop was strong. I told you that bishop was something to worry about. And there's no queen takes h4 because, hey, give me the lunch. Just give me the lunch. Or even we talked about queen to f3 with mate coming. So rook g8. You know, let sleeping dogs lie. In this position, Black was just on the back foot. And now Black is like, give me some swings. Give me some punches. Let me go. And now queen to h5. And queen takes c3. Wow. Wow, that's bold. There's no push. This push drops this pawn. Wow, that's sweet. And you're looking at the f3 square. You still can't take because the queen shifts. Oh my goodness, Dubov fighting back. Dubov is fighting back, y'all. Jeez. Wow, he's making g3. G3 looked logical for a second, because you saw the attack. But man, he's making g3 just look terrible on the long diagonal. Rook d5. Rook d5. What is happening in this game? Rook d5. Hey, we got a raid. Chess is raiding with a party of 460. Y'all guys came at a good point in this game. Rook to d5. What kind of only in rapid chess. I mean, this position is insane. By the way, there is a potential for a sacrifice. Hey, champ, thank you so much. There is a potential for a bishop sack, followed by a rook sack, followed by mate. Yo, I didn't even peep that possibility. In other words, well, not on d7. Let's just play a random move just to illustrate. Takes, bing, 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 bing. That hurt. Mate. The queen c3 wasn't just grabbing a pawn. Queen c3 was a sidestep to then go after the g3 pawn so you could mate. Whoops. Okay, that's why this damn I told you this diagonal was a problem. That's why he threw the rook in the way. He didn't know what else to do because the sack is coming. The double deuce sack is coming. They are back, y'all. They are back. Yo, this is unbelievable. What an incredible position. 5 passed pawns. 5 of them. This is gangster right here. This is what we call gangster chess. I got it. Thank you so much for telling me to go over this game. This is pure D gangster chess right here. Black was looking hurt, and now he's doing work. That's why when you start counting material, it's not good enough. When we were all the way back in this position, White had played, let's go back, right here. White played queen takes on e6. This was the position. White played queen takes e6. And we looked at this position and said, 5 passed pawns, exposed king. Yeah, it's 3 pieces. We get it. It's 3 pieces for a rook and 4 pawns, though. That sounds fair. And your king is exposed. This looks good. But the biggest problem is letting the pieces organize themselves. And this is a famous saying in chess that 1 passed pawn is faster than 2. When you're pushing 2, you're pushing 2. 1 passed pawn goes down the board. So you rather have a very effective passed pawn than slow 2 passed pawns. Okay, if the 2 passed pawns are just going to get the work done, then of course you want them. But it can be tricky. But my point is not that Black has a passed pawn here. My point is that for White to be effective, both pawns have to go down the board, or at least that's what white thought. So here, white protected and started pushing. So that's step number one. Knight 8-7. Who knew knight 8-7 was a sidestep to get the rook prepared for the g8 square? Who knew in advance? The knight slides slide out of the way, protect the king. First step, d6, tempo, bishop to h4. e6, march down the board, we're coming. Queen f7. e7, you've played all those pawn moves, stopping rook to g8, and then one stop, bishop c6, stops the pawn from queening, and here comes rook g8, and all of a sudden, those pawns look like they were doing something. Look how far down the board they are. But the active pieces are now suddenly organized out of nowhere. Just a few quick moves later, and it's black on the attack. And after g3, rook g8, queen h5, queen c3. Now, this position is still equal. These pawns are devastating. There's no way you're going to just win the game. But you got to watch him now. You actually got to watch because bishop takes is threatened. And so what happened here? Rook to d5 played. What a move. Stopping the mating ideas along this diagonal. Bishop takes, queen takes on d5. And now let's do a body count. There are 2 pieces on the board. Yeah. For 3 pawns. But damn, look at these 2 pawns. Look at these 2 pawns. If I'm white, I'm not feeling any fear at the moment. I mean, this is just like, this should be okay. This should be okay. Like, the sack no longer works because the queen is going to be able to come back and guard eventually after all the sacrifice. Let's just play it on the board to show you what I'm talking about. And the queen comes back and bye-bye. Sorry, not good. No good for you. So this is a fantastic position. White is definitely okay. Definitely okay. In this position, knight to f6. That looks, oh my goodness. This is how the game went. What a blunder. Once white played rook d5 and stopped the attack, knight to f6, thinking he was doing something, and boom! Give me some food. Nice sacrifice. Duda hitting Dubov. Crossing over, styling and profiling. That's how you do. Queen takes on g8 with check. And then you play king takes. Then the nasty. We've seen 2 passed pawns on this stream. We love passed pawns on this stream, especially 2 connected passers we enjoy. d7. Woo! Look at those pawns. You got a queen, you got a knight, and a bishop. How'd they get this position, you say? This must not be a real chess position. We saw it happen. What a great game. Wow. Duda gets the Gangster Award in this game. Absolutely beautiful. Queen, rook d5. I got passed pawns. I got passed pawns, and I'm not afraid to use them. Let's go. Rook d5, and then a queen sack, knight g8 was played. e8, queen me. Bishop f6, and this is Bustito. This is, I mean, all of a sudden, white's having a party again. But you know what? Even when you're having a party in chess, you still got to win the game. This passed pawn looks strong, but it's 2 pieces. It's 2 pieces, so you're going to have a lot of work to do. You see this defense? Well, I'm just going to win now. Look at it, it's over. No, get past these pieces now, and the queen's still on the board. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to promote somebody else. That's chess. That's chess, folks. That's our game. Queen in, trying to do some work. c4, ignoring your threats. Rook to d5 again. Another rook to d5. Yo, that's sweet. And now it's black looking to... Didn't we just see white with 2 connected passers? Is black trying to show some love with his pawns as well? Wow, chess is all about the pawn. The big pawns, y'all. The big pawns. That's what chess is all about. But now rook to f5, king to g7, king to g2. Nice. We like that. That's slick. b3, and now takes. By the way, this pawn, rook f4 action maybe, but takes looks logical. And now, whoa. What are you going for? What is that about? What is that? Why wasn't something like rook f3 better? Oh no. that would leave a mark. Oops, oops, whoops. Okay, my bad. My bad, y'all. All right, what else to do here? Man, this pawn just got saucy. It just got saucy. Dang. Pawns just change chess. My favorite two elements on the board, knights and pawns. That's what the real deal is with chess. Knights and pawns. Of course, the queen is a polar piece, right? It's a piece that everything can be organized around. But pawns and knights, whew, what a force they are in the game. And a second ago, white had two connected passes. All of a sudden, black has this dangerous pawn. What a damn vicious pawn we're staring at. We have some tactics? Get some going. Man, rook up maybe and try. This pawn's doing work. Let's try rook f4. Push. Check. Blocks with the knight. I want to push this one. I got to stop this. What the heck? Oh, wait. All right, let's back up. What the heck is happening here? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You can't take with the bishop because I can take your knight. And if you take with the knight, then I have a check. That was different from my square on this one. Oh, now I'm attacking. Now the rook's doing work. That would have been, let's go back. Let's go back to this moment right here. Takes rook here, threatening, no, not threatening check, threatening to push. That's slick. Queen f7, freeze frame. I heard a queen sack followed by queening. That's slick. That's defended though. This is pushing. There's checks. That's slick. Oh, who said that tactic? Definitely not Hikaru. You playing like Hikaru. That's slick. But what is happening here? Check. Don't play f3 because then whoops. Okay, so that's not good. Hold on. King up though. This diagonal looks weird. But also this pawn white has no checks anywhere. And black's talking pawns again with pinning possibility. This position's scary. This is just wild. This is wild, y'all. Let's get back to the game. He took on a6, but this b2 pawn looks like a big pawn. Okay? This is a big pawn on the board for real. Damn, this game was crazy. And what happened next? Queen to b6, stopping the pawn. Makes sense. Chasing the queen. Woo! What the heck? A sacrifice. Yo, head snap. This is the head snapping game of the tournament. No question about it. My head is snapping every which way. I'm glad I hadn't seen this game at all because I'm just every move. Medication. Can I get my heart medication? What the heck? Boom. And now white has material, 3 extra pawns. The only hope is a perpet. Wait, the extra, I see the extra queen coming, but there's a check and a queen's coming back at him. Wow. Check, hitting the king. F3. And queens. Now, in 4 queens position, the general rule is he who checks first usually wins. He who checks first usually wins. Except, the queens. They're bad. They're bad mofos. So she who controls the board rules the game. And y'all see the shirt. Y'all see the shirt. The game is about the queen. Feel the shirt, okay? The queen goes wherever she wants. That's what the rest of the shirt says. Goes wherever she wants. I'll stand up so y'all can see. The queen goes wherever she wants. Goes wherever she wants, all right? That's the shirt. So this is a stream about the queen right here. That's vicious. And the queen makes the head snaps. Queen check. Another check. Hello. Another one. And just keeps checking until you get the queen on the right square. And then oh, man, that sucks. And now the space, the creation of the space, everybody's tight. And now when you check, block, and now you don't have another check. And that's going to be game. Queen, 2 queens, and of course, if you trade queens, it'll be 3 pawns. And that's it. That's slick. That was a hell of a game. That was a hell of a game. Was it Zypin? Who was it that told me to look at this game? Thank you so much, man. Much appreciated. That was, woo! Woo! What again? Duval had a perpetual. Where? Let's see if we can find it. There might have been a perpetual when the queen appeared on the board. Okay, check. Oh, yeah, right here. Oh, man. He could have started checking. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. He just got a straight perpet. That's awful. Head snapper. These rapid games. Head snapper. Wow. Holy cow, Batman. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. That hurt. That hurt. He had an easy draw. He decided, but you know what? This is the thing that I told you. When you get 4 queens is not a position, thank you, Evan. It's not a position that people see often enough to have real rules around. So because they don't see it often enough, they have rules of thumb. One of the rules of thumb is the person who checks first usually wins. And I've shown you guys 4 queen positions on this stream. The one who checks first usually wins. But it's not true. I mean, it is true. The one who checks first usually wins. But it doesn't mean because you check first, you're going to win. And it's often enough, the exceptions are often enough, especially when one side has a centralized queen. You see here, these checks right here to this point. The white queen improves the position so dramatically that you no longer have an easy draw. You just don't because that queen is in the way. And so here, after this check, and now allowing this check, that was the main problem, allowing this check to happen. And now the space around the king allows for some kind of runs possibly. And of course, even better, your check can be blocked by a check. And that's the game. Pure chaos. This looks and smells like a rapid game. Completely. Completely smells like a rapid game. Somebody's even pointing out another variation that's slick, that this move couldn't be played because a knight could have come on the board. Oh my goodness, this game just keeps on giving. It's the gift that keeps on giving, y'all. Wow. And by the way, you see under promote, that doesn't happen. That only happens in chess studies. That only happens in chess studies. Come on, y'all. That's why we do our crazy studies on this stream. That's why we do crazy studies on this stream, because you have to have that creativity. Because the things you think might not happen every day. Crazy things are happening every day. This is chess, and crazy things are happening every day. This happened. This is real. This is one of the variations. You feel me? This is one of the variations that could have happened. And you're going to see on this stream today, you're going to see a head snapper of a puzzle that, look at this game. Wow, I'm glad you guys told me about this game. I mean, this is ridiculous because there's just a way I get lucky. Sometimes it's just the luck just follows behind me sometimes when it comes to some chess work. When I put the work in, let me do this work and this work. And then something happens, I go, wow, I got lucky. Look at that. If there was a chess casino, I'd be winning money, okay? Because this position right here will tell you a tale. This one is insane. This one's crazy. This one's wild. Yes, indeed. One of the best ones. And it epitomizes the tournament. So if y'all are not watching this event, clearly I wasn't watching closely enough. Look at the kind of stuff that's going down. In rapid games, anything could happen, and this is why we watch. This is why we watch. We just can't keep our eyes off of it. You're right, Chipotle Sensei. I mean, this is like madness.